My name is Kambungu, the Vice President of WFDY in charge of Africa region, as representing SWAPO party in the WFDY International Headquarters in Budapest, Hungary. We have received with sadness the passing on to glory or passing on into power of our President, Dr. Hage Geingob. I'm hereby, not only as a Namibian, not only as a SWAPO party international representative, but as a vice president in the WFDY headquarters, which is the anti-imperialist struggle movement in the world, issue a tribute message to SWAPO party and to the Namibian people, and to Chief Mourner, which is Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, is interim in that order. On behalf of the WFDY executive, rather WFDY political bureau, the WFDY political bureau under President Aritz Galan Rodriguez described President Hage Geingob as a champion of anti-imperialist struggle in Africa and also in the world. WFDY Political Bureau described President Geingob as a fearless man. At the United Nations, we have been embraced and emulated by statements of President Dr. Hage Geingob, which agree and which are in conformity with what WFDY stand for. President Hage Geingob on several occasions have issued statements advocating for self-determination and freedom of Palestine. He has been issuing statements also for the self-determination of Western Sahara, Africa's last colony, that Western Sahara must be free, Palestine must be free. He has issued strong advocacy on this anti-imperialist struggle in the United Nations, that the economic embargo, rather economic sanction, unilateral sanction against the nation of Cuba be lifted. Unwaveringly and continuous advocacy, fighting for the sanctions to be lifted on Cuba, has inspired a lot of young people internationally, from WFDY member organization and WFDY executive itself. Hence, the tribute of the WFDY Political Bureau and executive is as such to Dr. Hage Geingob, former president of SWAPO party and of the Republic of Namibia. May his soul rest in peace. Now, on behalf of the Africa Regional Commission, WFDY member organizations in Africa, especially the former liberation movement youth leagues, which are members of WFDY, have flooded my office with a lot of condolences messages for the nation of Namibia and SWAPO Party Celebration Movement. WFDY Africa Regional Commission, on its behalf, states that President Hage Geingob is a champion of anti-imperialist struggle, is a democrat, is a peacemaker, and is a conflict solver. He stood with all oppressed nations in Africa, and he mediated and negotiated peaceful solutions to political and societal crisis in Africa. He has led his country, Namibia, on democratic principle and enhancing peace and tranquility in Namibia. As a former chairperson of the SADC organ of defense and security, President Geingob is being praised by the African Youth Organization, which are members of WFDY, of whose I represent, that Namibia and Africa, you have lost a champion. President Geingob on the international fora is inspired by young people, is one of the presidents that Namibia had that have opened his arms and opened his office and all courtesy to welcome WFDY and to allow WFDY to host the International Preparatory Committee for the World Festival of Youth and Students that took place in Russia, in Sochi, Russia, 2017. The legacy of President Geingob in the life of WFDY, in the political activities of WFDY, left a mark and a record. The International Preparatory Committee was hosted by SWAPO Party Youth League of Namibia in Windhoek. Upon our arrival at Hosea Kutako International Airport with a WFDY executive, that time WFDY, our president was Nicholas Papadimitriou from Cyprus. President Geingob immediately invited us to State House upon our arrival in Windhoek, that the international youth diplomats, the international youth leaders must come to State House on courtesy. He has encouraged us to continue the anti-imperialist struggle. He has committed that Namibia will always fight for the free and fair and just world and continuous and lasting peace. And he committed that SWAPO Party, as he is the president, will continue to be the anti-imperialist movement or rather political party, and will see to it the support of international organizations such as WFDY, which is the largest anti-imperialist struggle, largest youth movement in the world, will receive support. President Geingob have narrated to us, the young people, as we continue to learn from these champions, that the struggle for Namibian independence was not easy. Even that of South Africa, even the end of civil war in Angola, we have listened to him, we have learned from him, because he was himself there as a petitioner at the United Nations in New York. We have learned a lot of lessons from him, how the struggle was launched against imperialism in Africa. President Hage Geingob has, upon request, assigned the now president of Namibia, Dr. Angolo Mbumba, to come and address the International Preparatory Committee, which convened in Windhoek to continue its proceeding, is already welcomed in a good gesture by President Geingob he have assigned Dr. Mbumba to address the International Preparatory Committee in 2017 in Windhoek, Namibia, of which also that time then Dr. Mbumba was the Secretary General of SWAPO Party, have appreciated this effort in the world and in Africa, that WFDY have stood to advocate for the independence of Namibia with some other allied forces such as Cuba, such as Russia, the then Soviet Union, and some other friendly nations in the Scandinavia such as Sweden, Finland, and some others, and also the Russian former Soviet Union republics and satellite states such as Czechoslovakia, Latvia, Hungary, and many others. WFDY is continue to be indebted by the heroism and the championship of Dr. Hage Geingob, who stand at the United Nations to always advocate for the freedom and self-determination of Western Sahara, Palestine, lifting of sanctions on Cuba, lifting of sanctions on Zimbabwe, and some other nations that are oppressed by the European and other international imperialists which continue to be posed on the continent of Africa. On behalf of both WFDY Political Bureau and Africa Regional Committee, that is our tribute on behalf of WFDY, which is the World Federation of Democratic Youth, to SWAPO Party and to the nation of Namibia on the passing on of President Geingob, and this is our tribute message. May his soul continue to rest in power. We salute you as a hero of a Namibian liberation struggle. We salute you as a champion of anti-imperial struggle, a motivator, somebody that have encouraged WFDY and welcome WFDY. We thank you. Aluta continua, Victoria Iserta, Namibia, African young people are with you. The world young people, they are with you. We are mourning together. May the Almighty God be our comforter.